This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So guys, CCIE Data Center version 3.0. As I said, in case if you have any question in between while I'm explaining you, feel absolutely free to put your question. Let's make the session very much interactive. If you cannot speak, you please put down your questions on the chat window. I will definitely address those unaddressed questions in case if you have during this particular session. So let's get started. Once again, thank you to all my dear 17 friends over here for joining, and we begin with our introduction. First of all, of course, we should know each other. I got to see your names, and I would like to introduce about myself. Who am I? About my experience and all. One second. One second. Sorry, dear friends, there was a call. I had to disconnect. So, first of all, about myself. When I was asking about you, why not to tell you guys about myself? Who am I? Because our journey is going to be a long journey, and we should know each other. So, who am I? Let me introduce myself from my LinkedIn profile itself. Guys, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself. But in case if there is a background noise, definitely mute yourself. And there is background noise. Would appreciate, guys, if you can mute yourself with regards to your background noise and Ankush, it's from you. Mujahid, dear friend, probably the background noise is from your side. Thank you so much for Mujahid. Okay. All right, my dear friend Mujahid, I have muted you. If you want to unmute and speak, feel absolutely free to unmute and speak. So, dear friends, this is me. My name is Ashish Sehgal. I have in total 30 years of industry experience. Of course, training is my most lovable topic because I truly believe that by giving, you'll get a lot. So I have been into training for the past 30 years, but of course into the corporate world as well. Currently, I'm working with a company called T Systems, which is a sister concern of DOS Telecom. I am working as a data center solution architect. I am into the field of data center for more than 7 years now, but into the field of networking for more than 20 years. All right, a small brief about yourself, of myself. So I would like to be connected to all of you. So you can search me easily on my LinkedIn just by my name. You will be able to see me, and we can be easily connected there in the LinkedIn as well. And it is really good to be connected to. Okay. So with a small introduction of myself, more introduction if you want, definitely you can get it over my LinkedIn profile, or you can give me a call anytime, 24/7. I am available. Okay. So I believe that you guys are going to have a couple of questions. I will try to address all your questions over here without you guys asking those questions. And still, in case if your questions are unaddressed, please feel absolutely free. You can write down the questions. I will make sure to check the questions on the chat window as well. Okay, so what we are going to talk about over here is we are going to talk about our batch and timings, not right now, but at the end. We are going to talk about the blueprint, what CCIE Data Center version 3.0 covers. We are going to talk about the technologies. We are going to talk about the duration of the classes. We are going to talk about the total duration of it, we will be talking about a very important and widely asked question about lab hands-on, and then the study material. One point which definitely is part of the discussion, I do understand from you guys, is about so-called boot camp. So what is this boot camp? We will be discussing that particular topic as well. Now about CCIE data center. To achieve CCIE data center, I'm sure all of you guys know that there are two stages of it. The very first stage is you have to clear a written examination, and once you are done with written examination, your clock starts. When I'm saying your clock starts, this means Cisco will give you 18 months to make sure that within 18 months of clearing your written examination, you should clear your lab as well. So written examination is a normal examination. You can go to Pearson VUE Prometric Center and you can write down the exam. There are exam codes. This is 120 minutes exam, 100 to 110 questions will be there. It is going to cover, Abhinav, welcome in the class. It is going to cover various topics, and the topics to be covered there in the written examination are the topics we are going to learn over here. And those are the topics which we will be taking a deep dive with regards to lab hands-on as well. Okay, then once you are done with your written examination, nice, I'll tell you when is the right time to give the written examination, because your 18 months clock will start. So once you are done with your written examination, you are prepared, you are ready for the lab examination, then you have to book your lab. Cisco has got the lab testing centers globally located. Due to the current pandemic situation, a lot of the lab centers are closed, and so is the Bangalore center, which is our Asia Pacific main center. We have centers in Dubai, in Australia, Sydney. A lot of centers are there. In Brazil, there are centers. But due to the pandemic situation, a lot of centers are still in a closed down state or lockdown state. Okay. Now, about this particular exam, specifically with regards to version 3.0, Cisco has made certain change as compared to the previous version. In the previous version, the version was version 2.1. The exam was broken down into two parts, module 1 and module 2. Same you can see over here. But if you see the time of this particular module 1, it is of 3 hours. However, in version 2.1, this particular design module, right, used to be known as diagnostic module in version 2.1, and this particular module used to be of 1 hour duration. In that, of course, that particular module was, the format was a scenario based. When I say scenario based, means you will be getting a case study. You will be provided with couple of emails to look at into with regards to solving a problem. Over here, there is slight change. The major change is the duration. So important thing is, if you know the technology, then this will not create any problem for you. Now, earlier in version 2.1, the duration was 1 plus 7. Now the duration is reduced to 3. The ratio is changed to 3 plus 5 hours. In the 5 hours, which is going to be a second module, which will start once your 3 hours are done, deploy, operate, and optimize what your data center topology that will be given to you. So guys, this is a major change. The major change is with regards to the module. The content, earlier we used to call this as diagnostic, now it is design. Earlier it used to be of 1 hour, now it is 3 hours. This means that if you have just 5 hours of your lab, this means probably the lab contents are reduced. it will be, according to me, it will be way more simpler lab. Okay, because you have to wrap up in 5 hours. All right. So there is something called exam score. I would really appreciate you, dear friends, to go through the link. This link is available in Cisco portal itself, where you can see CCIE practical exam format, and you can get to see it. Abdul has arrived. Thank you so much, Abdul, for joining. The entire lab is divided into 5 different sections: Layer 2, Layer 3 connectivity, data center fabric infrastructure, fabric connectivity, data center compute, storage area networking, security and network services, and automation. Out of these topics, whatsoever 7 topics which are being mentioned, this particular topic, that is a topic number 1, here this topic will talk about purely Nexus device configuration, certain technology. The most pioneer technology when it comes to Nexus is our VPC and of course VXLAN. Then it is data center fabric infrastructure. Here in, dear friends, we will be talking about ACI. Here this is also going to talk about ACI, and let me tell you that here again it will be ACI, right? Compute, in short and crispy, we call it as unified computing system. Over here it will be a hyper-converged infrastructure. This HCI, known as hyper-converged infrastructure, is nothing but it is a combination of 3 technologies: LAN, UCS, and SAN. So these 2 together will form your one section in your examination. So quite important for us to be very comfortable with regards to compute, though in real world there will be a separate team which will be taking care of compute. There will be a separate team which will be taking care of the storage area networking, but because these are integral components of data center in real world, so Cisco has introduced it. The expectation is even the ACI data center engineers, they should know even those technologies for which there will be a separate teams. And yes, we will be taking a deep dive into this topic as well. I'm going to give you introduction of all these very soon, and this security and network services will be part of our ACI. Finally, we will be talking about the most important topic called network automation. And for the purpose of network automation, there are scripting languages: Python, Ansible, Postman, etc. Out of which the most important language which we should be comfortable, you can say it's the mother of all the scripting languages, is Python, and we will be talking about Python in detail. Okay, now let us go. I'm just trying to give you over here an overview of what different components will be there in the data center. Dear friends, there will be, with regards to, let me tell you about these components first of all to begin with. Santosh Kumar. Okay, these are the components, these are the devices or the switches, and there is a controller, of course, which will provide us a most significant contribution with regards to a topic called application-centric infrastructure. So in your lab examination, you will be having these particular devices. We will be studying about them in detail. Besides this, we will be having another important switch that is called Nexus 7000 series switch. We will be having Nexus 5600, Nexus 2300 fabric extenders, UCS machines, and we will be having the storage boxes and the terminal servers over here. Guys, just a second. Again, I have to hand over the call. The disturbing element is out of the meeting room now. Okay. So this is just an introduction of what different components will be there in your actual lab, right? And from where did I get all these information? Of course, available in the cisco.com learning portal. Please go over. All right. Lab software, these are the different softwares which will be installed into the data center devices, and just for the sake of your understanding. Background noise. All right, controlled. Thank you very much. I do understand everyone is in a mute state, but if you really want to speak, dear friends, feel absolutely free. Santosh Kumar, probably you are not in a mute state, and you are facing some problem in joining in because you are joining in and you are exiting. All right, but still was fine. Okay. Okay, fine, dear friends. All right. So just a look on 6 different modules which we will be talking about, and I'm going to give you a introduction to these important topics. Some of the topics are newly introduced topics. We will be talking about those topics, of course, during this journey of 3 months. And besides having, how is this going to help me, Mujahid? Okay, can't speak, it's okay. Again, those friends of mine who can't speak, you can type your messages. Sometimes your message does pop in. Okay. I really do not know my dear friend Mujahid, unless and until I know your background. Okay, so these are the 6 topics. The very first topic which we will start will be about module 1, and in the module 1 we will be talking about the topics like Nexus hardware, Nexus software. These are not the topics in the blueprint. Tomorrow I'm going to give you another session, and that will be a real session, real live session on the technology, and the technology which we are going to cover in tomorrow's session is Nexus hardware. But when it comes to examination, specifically version 3.0 examination, this particular topic is not important, but it is very important for us to know what are the various devices we will be working on. So in this topic, various components. So what are the components? Let me now tell you about these topics one by one. Module number 1, which is going to be Nexus module. In this particular module, we will be talking about Nexus hardware, Nexus operating system, the concept of virtual device context, which is there in our Nexus, and VPC and VXLAN. So dear friends, in this particular topic, as I said, Nexus hardware, it is not important for us to look at into this topic from examination point of view, but don't you think it is quite important for us to know what this device is, what is its model, what is this device model, what is this, and what is this? So from that particular angle, we really need to know why there are differences in the chassis. We really need to know what are various kinds of line cards, what are F cards, what are M cards, of course, line cards. Now, the new terminology which is being introduced in Nexus devices known as fabric modules, we should know what are fabric modules, because in our switches, fabric modules will be there. And of course, supervisor engine, which we have already seen in Cisco Catalyst 6500 series switches. But how the supervisor engines are different over here as compared to our Catalyst 6500 or Catalyst 4000 series of traditional switches. All those things we will be covering over there in a topic called Nexus Hardware. Pretty important topic for us to understand before going for the other topics. Not only this, because Nexus hardwares are going to be installed with absolutely a different operating system, guys. So we would be talking about the Nexus operating system, sweetly known as NXOS. We would be understanding how this Nexus operating system is different from the storage area networking operating system, Cisco iOS, Cat OS, etc. Right? So we will be taking a deep dive into it. Even at the kernel level, we would be checking that what is the role of the kernel image in the topic called Nexus operating system. Pretty important. We would be breaking down this particular operating system based on various modules, wherein this Nexus operating system is known as modular operating system. In this particular topic, we would be understanding why Nexus operating system is known as a modular operating system. Right? That is we would be closing down this particular topic by talking about the licensing and life cycle of the operating system, and something unofficial, I will be telling you about one important hack in the operating system in terms of its licensing as well. Okay, based on my experience working with the operating system, hardware, technology, etc. Besides whatever is there in the curriculum, we would definitely have discussions on those. I will share my experience as well with you guys. All right, there is a specific Nexus switch model in Nexus 7000 series, which has got a beautiful feature called virtual device context, which is a capability of chopping a hardware device into multiple virtual devices, and that technology by Cisco is known as VDC. We would be talking about this particular technology. Very important when it comes to Nexus 7000. Now, from my experience, I have not seen Cisco asking the question specifically with regards to VDC starting from version 2.0 and then in version 2.1. And I'm sure Cisco is not going to ask you question with regards to this VDC creation, etc. in version 3.0 as well. Why? Because Cisco in itself in the lab examination will chop this Nexus 7000 device into multiple virtual devices and will hand it over to you for the purpose of configuration. So we will understand what is this chopping of a hardware device and how it works and how do we do it, how do we chop a device. And when we chop a device, we need to provide resources to the individual virtual device. How do we allocate the resources? How do we allocate the interfaces to a newly chopped virtual device? All right, that is going to be part of our Nexus virtual device context topic. This is going to be a separate chapter over there. Sudhanshu has joined. Thank you so much, Sudhanshu, for joining. We are just talking about this is an introduction which is going on, and dear friends, this is a beautiful topic called virtual port channel. Never this topic can ever be ignored. Though the kind of question this Cisco has started putting into the examination, they have got reduced from complicated to more simpler ones. Why I'm saying so? Because your lab is going to be partially configured lab, not fully configured. You have to configure the lab fully by yourself. Entire data center cannot be configured easily within 5 hours. So Cisco will be giving you partially configured lab. So VPC topic will be configured, but with minor mistakes or minor components unconfigured. So anyway, we will be talking about this particular topic, and of course, not with regards to its morphology, but also the anatomy. That is, we will be taking a deep dive into this particular topic. This topic is very important from your interview point of view also. So we will be talking about interview based questions, and that too in a very practical way. VPC failure and failover scenarios, my dear friends, is very important because this particular topic is going to give us the experience which Cisco came across over a period of time after introducing the VPC. Because the failure and failover scenarios are the part of the case studies which Cisco tech team they received and they troubleshooted, fixed it. And this fine tuning of VPC happened with the help of the optimization best practices. We will conclude our VPC theory by talking about the optimization best practices commands and why those commands. And as I said, we will not be talking just the morphology, but we will be going into the anatomy of why this is there. That means we will be trying to, we will be looking at into inside as much as possible and feasible, not possible, but feasible for us. Okay, guys, this particular topic is the most avoided topic by anyone. This particular topic is the topic we try to skip away ourselves from, multicast. But why we are talking about this topic? Because the implementation of this topic is integral part of the next topic. In this particular topic, we will be spending one full dedicated session, not to go into the anatomy, but to understand the morphology with respect to its implementation. Why? Because this topic is very important when it comes to our next topic, VXLAN. So some of my friends, they do skip it, but please never ever skip this topic. Skipping this topic means you will not be able to give honesty and justification to the next 5-star rating topic called VXLAN. So we will be giving a session on multicast as well. Here, as you can see, a lab topology. On the next topic, we in the next topic called VXLAN would be doing our hands-on after understanding the complete detailed theory as well as the output of VXLAN on this particular lab. In this particular lab, we would be establishing communication between the and nodes and would be checking the communication happens successfully between them. And between this. This is just an overview of the topic. You can see that that we would be configuring a device which is nothing but a device running our Cisco IOS. However, all these devices over here, they would be running a separate operating system called NX OS. And these devices, what we will be configuring over here, dear friends, these devices will be Nexus 9000 series switches. And need not tell you that this particular lab, for the purpose of hands-on, will be available to you 24/7, 365 days. I'll tell you how you can do the hands-on onto this particular lab. Okay. Now, with VXLAN, we will conclude our first module, and then the question from you comes is, what different devices, components, hardware, software, VPC, VXLAN, where we are going to do our labs? Guys, I will be helping you out. Our main source from where we will be doing hands-on is our dear friend Cisco D Cloud. So Cisco D Cloud is nothing but it is a portal provided, learning portal provided by Cisco, wherein lot many labs are there. As I was saying, 24/7, 365 days across 4 different data centers. The labs are available. We can do the labs over there very conveniently. I will tell you how to do the labs. There will be lab guide along with which you can download, but understanding the lab guide and doing the lab will be a Herculean task unless and until the same lab guide is presented to you in the most lucid way, and that's what facilitating job I will be doing with you guys. So I will be acting just as a facilitator, just to make sure that the labs over there, they are presented to you in a most lucid way. And yes, you can do the labs 24/7, 365 days in a year at your own discretion. All right. With this, once our module 1, which is purely a Nexus module, wherein our configurations, etc., will be there on Nexus operating system, we will, once that particular topic is wrapped up, we will start talking about the most 7-star rating topic. 5 stars are not sufficient to give it to. 7-star rating topic called application centric infrastructure. In this particular topic, which is nothing but Cisco's software defined networking solution, we would be doing approximately 14 labs. Couple of labs I am still enhancing. We will be talking about the details, the complete details of what is ACI, the topology, the hardware components, the controller, the control plane protocol, and the very first lab which we will be doing will be the lab on the fabric discovery. But before that, with regards to a controller known as EPIC, dear friends, we will be talking about the troubleshooting of this particular device as well. Using what? Using a port called SIMC port, Cisco Integrated Management Console port. This is nothing but this is going to be the backdoor entry for the purpose of troubleshooting the fabric. We will be talking about this particular topic with regards to its initial setup. How do we initialize? And definitely we will be looking at into the zero touch configuration with the help of this topic. So certain most niche labs, NICHE, Axon, right? Most niche labs in ACI, which are very much high in demand and in the production environment, are about multi-pod, multi-site, and micro-segmentation. Guys, let me tell you, these are very much required in the production environment. Whosoever is working on ACI today, they are definitely working on these technologies. And again, thank you so much to our dear friend Cisco. We do have a beautiful lab on multi-site and micro-segmentation. And sorry, multi-pod lab is not there. So we have a workaround of at least understanding the configuration. So I will be presenting you what each and every step of configuration required for the purpose of multi-pod lab. Well, lot of things are there. Multi-site ACI, fabric discovery, lot of things are there. And here my labs are not confined only to these 13. I have included a couple of more labs, and I'm still including more labs into it. Most of these labs, they are doable with regards to the configuration. There will be a challenge. Of course, I will confess that there will be a challenge in terms of end-to-end connectivity test with regards to some of the labs. But we will try our best to mitigate those challenges as well. Once ACI, how much time ACI is going to take? Dear friends, this topic in itself is the most highly demanding and most time consuming topic. I will say it is going to take minimum 4 weeks of our regular classes, because there are not many labs. Okay. Once application-centric infrastructure is done, understanding storage area networking, called SAN, is also very important. This topic is going to be something very much new to us, and it's going to be, let me tell you, practically, this is going to be a topic wherein we'll hardly get a chance to work in the real production environment, because in every organization there is a separate dedicated team working for storage area networking. But as a data center engineer, as a data center solution architect, right, your importance is that you should know how this storage area networking works. What are the storage area networking protocols? Because apparently you have to go and discuss this with each and every individual team contributing with their technologies in the data center. So we will be learning about the storage area networking over here. Definitely something known to you is called RAID, redundant array of independent disks. We will be talking about various variants of it and why we do have, what is the purpose of RAID mechanisms. I can see many friends of mine, they are joining. Thank you so much for all of you, those who are joining. I will not be taking much time. We definitely would love to give more time to you guys to ask any questions. Unified computing system, of course, this topic works in conjunction with the previous topic called storage area networking. Again, as storage area networking in real production environment, there will be a separate team, so will be there in this. But this doesn't mean that we can afford to ignore this topic. Why? Because understanding the UCS components, understanding the servers and their integral components is something which is very, very important, and even when it comes to ACI. The topic which we have done earlier, you will simply get to see that we are now talking about UCS there also. I will be presenting to you UCS servers there also, because our ACI switches, they need to be integrated, need to be connected with the UCS architecture. There, I will just give you a pause when you will ask certain questions, because I will say that let me explain you the components. For example, what is WIC, the significance of WIC and all. So very, very important topic it is, and we will be taking a decently deep dive into this particular topic. And today's hot selling cake in the industry, wherein Cisco is also facing a cutthroat competition, is hyper converged infrastructure. Short, sweet, crispy, we call it as HCI, which is nothing but which is a merger of three different technologies together in one single box. The technologies are LAN, SAN, and UCS. So dear friends, Hyperflex is the topic which is one of the most important topic if you really want to be expert into data center. Why is it so? As a data center network engineer, will we be getting a chance to work on Hyperflex? Again, guys, answer in real production environment can be no. But your intention is not just to focus on the data center network infrastructure, but your intention is to focus on entire data center having multiple components. So understanding Hyperflex is very, very important. Hyperflex is nothing but Cisco's solution to hyper-converged infrastructure. Herein, besides talking about Cisco's solution, I will just give you a brief introduction of top 10 notch companies in the field of Hyperflex. So once you are comfortable with the technology, it will be just peanuts for you to understand how the other vendor specific hyper converged solution they work. In this particular topic, besides understanding the installation and configuration, guys, we will be talking about different say expansion and all. And the question comes is, do we have the labs on this? Can we do the lab? Again, I will say a big thanks to our dear friend Cisco for providing us handsome labs on it. Here in this particular topic, we will see the usage of our network automation scripts called Python, because we will be installing and expanding our Hyperflex converged infrastructure with the help of pre-written Python file into a JSON format. We will just be importing and pushing in. So from over here, a big question mark will come with regards to what is Python and how it is written, the scripting languages, and the answer we are going to get in our sixth and the last module, which is Python. Over here, we will start from understanding what is Python, its history, the installation, what different interpreters called IDEs we require, how do they work, and we will be talking about data structure, operators, comments, conditions, and we will be giving a very important consideration to our statements. These are nothing but these are the scripts. The question is, are we going to do labs on Python? And answer is yes, and that too from day one. That is, day one, I will tell you to install Python, to install IDE so that we can do it. And it is very much doable on your respective laptops. Question is, why do we need Python and the usage of Python in our, say, lab examination? Dear friends, with the help of Python, we will be doing network automation. What is the meaning of this? This means once our devices are configured using first time CLI or first time GUI, next time onwards, rest all configuration will be done through the Python. In the examination, the devices will be configured. We will just be asked to make certain modification into the pre-written JSON file. We will be asked just to do some modification, additions, etc. We will not be asked ever to write the complete script, because for this particular purpose, there is a separate network automation or automation team in each and every organization. But how they are working, what are the changes, modification, addition we need to do, we should know about it. And that's for what we will be learning this particular scripting language called Python. Okay. Materials. The materials which you will get. Class notes. Videos on demand. Guys, we are working on our website and we are making sure that the videos are available on the website. That is, the class videos are available on the website. In case if you miss to attend our class due to certain reason, then you can go through those videos. In case if it will get delayed, I will make sure on your prior intimation to me that you are going to miss the class, I will record that particular class and will give it to you. So, but this is not going to be provided to you on daily basis. Sorry for that, because we highly encourage your presence, a diligent presence in each and every class, and of course the interaction, the questions and answer sessions. Otherwise, what is this for? We don't want to promote the VODs. Sorry. We'll be giving couple of important PDFs. The books, certain books are really very expensive, not easily available, not downloadable easily. We will be providing you those study materials, etc. as a part of the study material, and certain, of course, Cisco material available on Cisco portals. For the purpose of practice material, as I have shown you, you will be having to understand about Nexus hardware and other hardwares. There will be either an application, downloadable application, or web-based Cisco 3D interactive catalog, with the help of which, yes, I will be using this in the sessions to explain you, to show you, because in this session I cannot bring hardware device and show it to you. So we will be taking the help of Cisco three-dimensional interactive catalog. Cisco D Cloud I have already presented to you. Cisco DevNet labs are also there, but I'm not very comfortable with them, not very found them very intuitive in the nature. So UCS platform emulator we will be using, but for the purpose of UCS, we can again go back to our dear friend Cisco D Cloud, where UCS is there. In case if I have never used it, sorry, titanium. Some of my friends, they have titanium. And I will encourage you guys, if you have EvenG, because EvenG, you can do your Nexus operating system based labs on EvenG. Probably you all know. about EVNG. Couple of friends of mine, they do have EVNG and they have demonstrated labs, for example, VPC labs and VXLAN labs on EVNG in the class. And only these two labs are doable in EVNG. If you ask about ACI, will be big sorry for that. ACI simulator you can run on EVNG, but that is not sufficient. Okay, I'm just going to conclude this particular speech. Guys, study methodology is this: slow and steady wins the race. You really need to be steady, right? And definitely we cannot afford to be very fast, because this is not our boot camp crash course. No, I don't conduct any crash course. So slow and steady wins the race. We have a journey over a period of minimum 3 months, wherein we will be covering these 6 modules. Would highly encourage you, while you are in a class, to prepare. Please do prepare class notes. Please do discuss. Make each and every session very interactive. I do confess, I also, being a human being, may skip something, which I always try to avoid, and that's the reason I use PPTs, so that I should not skip any important point. But your interaction in the class, your interruption in the class, and sometimes, my audiences, they do say, can I ask you a stupid question? And my answer is always, your question can never be stupid, my answer can be stupid. So which means we do highly encourage you to get your doubts cleared in the class. There is a lab methodology. Of course, I personally call it as a push and pull technology. You may call it as a buddy relationship. Guys, having a buddy relationship in the ongoing sessions is something very, very important. I personally have felt it. When you have a good buddy, you can definitely climb Mount Everest also. Without buddy, you cannot climb Mount Everest, because someone has to go up, other one has to push or pull. That's what the technology works in order to combat this CCIE lab examination. We will be providing you 24/7 access for communication using our dear friend WhatsApp. Any doubts, any information, we will definitely highly encourage you guys to share. So for that particular purpose, we are going to have a WhatsApp group with all the participants in our class, and any other question, you are most welcome to put any suggestion, any question, with 100% democracy. You will have a democratic right to speech in the session. Punctuality is what we honestly believe is a key to our success. So our sessions will be starting absolutely at the right time, so decided. Prior to the class session, you will get the invite at least 15 minutes before. There may be certain contingencies where it gets avoided. In that case, the intimation will be shared with you guys on WhatsApp. That is, apologies facing this and this technical problem or any other problem, but thanks to pandemic situation currently going on, no such technical problem is happening. Okay, this particular batch will be our weekday batch. Do we have the classes every day? Yes, Mujahid, here comes answer to your question. Wow, what a sync you have. We have in your question and the answer. We do have our weekday classes starting from Monday, that is today, till Friday. The time so decided right now is 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. 1.5 hours is more than sufficient. It's almost 1 hour you have been listening to me. Very much unilateral. I'm so sorry for that. I don't know why. Probably I'm giving answer to all your questions. I really don't want to pat my back, guys. Be very honest with you. The time is going to be 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Start sharp at 7 o'clock. We'll start our class with just 2-3 minutes of gap, and 8:30 we will wrap up. In case if most of our friends they cannot join at 7 p.m., we can slightly stretch our class from 7 o'clock to 7:30, because from my previous experience I have noticed those friends of mine who are working in Middle East, for them 7 o'clock is little early. But in case if we do have the friends in Middle East, they want to join, 7:30 would be convenient for them. Okay, how many hours of lab practice are included? And as I said, my dear, there's no bar, no limit. No. Do we start from the my dear friend Mujahid, probably you joined little late. Yes, we start from the basics. We do start our sessions, each and every topic. In fact, the entire data center from the root, even the topics which are not there in the blueprint, like Nexus hardware we talk about, Nexus operating system we will be talking about. Keep on sending your questions, guys. I do get a pop-up of each and every question. How many hours of lab practice are included? Yes. There was a voice. Yes, please go ahead with your question.
Ashish, this is Shyam here.
Shyam,
this
sir,
Python,
very good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Yes.
And no, thanks for conducting this session. And this Python, do we have a clarity on what level? I mean, whether it's going to be a beginner or it's going to be intermediate level of the Python is included?
Okay. Python. We intermediate level. There is advanced level, and we will not be talking about the advanced level of Python. So we will be starting from basic and will be going till the intermediate level, wherein you can write your basic programs.
Okay, so do we have a clarity about the exam? So what kind of what levels probably, what kind of questions, or what and because we are having a network, guys, like what level of troubleshooting or and or the kind of questions are going to come?
Very good question. And the answer to, let me first of all clean this particular erase all inks and back on the pen, and the answer is yes. We do have absolute clarity in terms of the usage of Python in our lab examination. When I'm saying absolute, doesn't mean I'm talking about dumps. I'm not talking about dumps. The usage, why Python is going to be used. This particular program wherein we will be covering these very topics in Python will help us indeed in terms of what is going to be asked to us in the CCIE Data Center version 3.0 exam. Suresh asked a question. Suresh, I'll look at into your question. Yes. Now let me tell you what is it going to be. We in the exam will be provided with a pre-written script in a format called JSON format. It will be a file over there which will have some configuration, and indeed the configuration with the mistakes. Mistakes in terms of what? Mistakes in terms of the data structure, in terms of using the operators, mistakes in terms of the conditional and iterative statements. What will be our task there in the lab examination is to look at into those mistakes, correct them, and push them back so that whatever configuration, for example, VLAN configuration, interface configurations are being already written in this particular JSON file, they can be correctly pushed back onto all the devices. And that's it. They will not be asking us to write a complete script, right, for the purpose of pushing the configurations and all. No. Does it answer your question, dear friend Shyam?
Yeah, got it.
All right. Thank you. And let me conclude this particular, all these explanations of mine. How many hours of lab practice are included, dear friends? As I said, Cisco dCloud is 24/7 multiply by 365 days in a year. It is available for the sake of your practice. I am just going to play a role of a facilitator so that you can do the hands-on onto the lab without time wastage, because the lab guides which you will be downloading may not be those that lucid to understand. So diagrams, pictures, steps, correct steps of configuration I will be providing you, and you will be able to do it. In case if you can book the lab yourself, that would be great. Else I will help you to book it. And the dClouds labs are available across the globe in 4 different data centers. Thank you so much once again to Cisco dCloud team. Okay, what are the library you will be covering in Python? All right. So as I said, this is not going to be in detail. It's not going to be advanced about Python. I will be talking about, basically, I will be closing my Python session with iterative and conditional statements, which requires the data structure, operators, comments, etc. Right? Those are nothing but they are part of the libraries. I will be talking about the dictionaries. I will be talking about different kinds of small library components over there. If you want, I can give you a glimpse of my Python as well, my dear friend. Now, another big question which may come is, first of all, dear friends, I abstain myself from using the terminology called bootcamp or crash course. I personally do not believe that any technology could be learned within few days. Bootcamp is something which is a classical terminology used for the purpose of dumps, right? Let me be very blunt about it, and that's what I want you to be. I am not teaching dumps over here. I am teaching technology over here. My intention is to equip yourself, to make yourself very strong when it comes to the technology, right? Once you know the technology, whatever exam is there, right, you can easily crack it. In case if you want to go for the bootcamp dumps, whatever you call it, guys, you will be able to understand, right? There is a proverb called, even you need brain if you want to cheat. So we are attempting to enlighten all your brain cells, right? Okay. All right. More questions if you have. I understand you have put some questions in the chat windows also. What are the, okay, Mohit, I probably have given answer, and detail of your answer can be given to you, with the presentation of what all am I covering. So the time is not sufficient wherein I can give you entire details of dictionary, right, and various kind of statements what we use. But whatever libraries are required in Python for our purpose, I'm going to cover all those libraries and the
Hi, Ashish.
components.
My name is Amulya. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Amulya, good evening. Yeah, go ahead, Amulya. Tell me.
Okay. I have a simple question. Like, what would be the prerequisites for anyone to join this session, right? See, everyone dreams of pursuing in CCIE, but according to you, I mean, you have an enriched experience, right? As I can see your LinkedIn and other things. So, what should be the prerequisite for anyone to be pursuing CCIE? I mean, shall we be working in production for a couple of years, then start pursuing for that, or for someone who is working on routing, switching, or some other track, right? How worth is it for someone to give it a try?
Okay. Two prerequisites to attend my classes. Number one,
Mhm.
basic routing and switching knowledge. Number two,
Okay.
your dedication. That's it. If you have the basic
Okay.
knowledge of IP subnetting, you know what are address, what are switches. So what are different routing protocols? If you know about OSPF, BGP, EIGRP protocols, very well sufficient. If you know about spanning tree protocol, very well sufficient. If you know about spanning tree loop avoidance mechanism, if you know about BPDU guard, BPDU filter, sufficient. If you know about LACP, sufficient. That's what we all cover in CCNA level routing and switching. Because all these concepts are going to be practically implemented, and we don't teach spanning tree protocol. In fact, we have the functioning of spanning tree protocol, but expectation is you know about the CCNA level routing and switching. And of course,
Okay. That I think answers the question. And what would be the span, as in
yeah.
including the written and lab? Would it be 3 months, including written and lab both?
Span. What do you mean by span?
The time span of the course. Like, what would be the time span of the
Okay.
course?
Okay. In the beginning of the session, I told you guys that once you will do your clear your written examination, your
Mm-hmm.
18 months clock will start. So the within 18 months of clearing your written examination, you have to clear your lab examination,
No, not in
right?
that way. Actually, Ashish, my question is
Okay.
like, let's say we start taking the classes right from tomorrow onwards. So,
Okay.
what would be the
Mm-hmm.
entire span of the course, including the written and lab? I mean, that's a different story that we get 18 months after clearing the
Okay.
written, right? Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
my question.
Yes. So our course will span across 3 months minimum, right?
Okay.
Which doesn't mean that I will be rushing to complete it. My experience is with extra topics included, it will take 3 regular days, 3 months, right? So
Means
minimum
after
three
three
months.
months we can go for a lab, right? I mean, after 3 months appear, we can appear in the CCI lab for the DC, if I got that correctly.
Let me tell you, during these 3 months, if you are doing hands-on, if you are discussing your doubts in the class, then you would need another 2 months to prepare dedicatedly towards the lab. As all of you guys, I really won't mind. Today, 95% of those guys who have CCI, I'll say 99 to 100% of the guys who have the CCI, they definitely have gone through the real lab setup. They have done hands-on on the real lab setup. What is in the market known as boot camp or dumb practice and all. So I will recommend you guys to get yourself comfortable with regards to what is actually there. Well, I'm not the person who is teaching that. So, but I can tell you the ways to prepare for the final lab examination. That will take minimum of 2 months, depending upon your speed.
Okay.
Does it answer your question, Amulya?
I think it does. Yeah, it does. Sure. And what about the dumps and all? So you guys also provide the same? Because I mean, they are 100%. I mean, whomsoever has appeared, I've spoken to them, said dumps are very much useful. So do you guys also provide that? I mean, within the course or something like that?
Let me be very honest. I do not have any dumps. I do not teach dumps, right? But I can tell you the ways to procure and how to practice, right? I do not have, to be very honest, the dumps with me, neither written dumps nor the lab dumps. And I will not encourage you to rush for it immediately, because due to the current pandemic situation, the labs specifically, there is one single lab center in India, that is in Bangalore. So that is closed. So this is the time, I do repeat it and do tell to each and everyone to concentrate on the technology. If you know the technology, clearing the lab examination will be just a task of 1 month for you guys, not more than that. But grabbing the technology is the key to your success. Tomorrow, even after getting the number, if you cannot prove your number, guys, it is absolutely valueless to spend your money just to get the number, right? Because you have to justify it. Okay, Mohit has asked a question. Thank you so much, Mohit, for asking. I don't have knowledge of CCNP data center, the concept which are available in CCNP that won't be in CCI. So how I can cover CCNP data center? My dear friend Mohit, as I was telling everyone, this particular session on CCI data center version 3.0 is not only CCIE. This is CCNA data center, this is CCNP data center, and then this is CCIE data center. Well, let me tell you, CCNP data center is just a theory which is very much incomplete, right? So this, as I said earlier, we are starting from the basics, and then we will be talking about the top-notch technology. So it is, if you know about CCNA level or CCNP level routing and switching, you are qualified to attend this particular course. Well, Cisco has not put any benchmark, right? I would be in touch. All right, sure, definitely. How to revise the concept, because you are not providing videos, Mohit. As I said, I will be uploading my videos in the portal. The video access will be provided to you, right? Till for a specific period of time. We are working on it. Soon it will be there. And yes, you can practice from over there. Sure, Shamji, thank you so much for joining. You can leave now. So don't worry. What we say, we really do it. That's the trust we have built. Okay, keep on asking the question, guys. So my slides are not yet over. Definitely, during our sessions, I just want to say that all of us, we do have a non-disclosure agreement. We will be respecting the non-disclosure agreement with Cisco. If I want to revise after 6 months, will I get access? Mohit, my dear friend, here comes answer to your question. Besides talking about non-disclosure agreement, when will we start the classes? Amulya, my dear friend, from today classes started, right? This provide answer to your question, dear Mohit. Once you will enroll with us for version 3.0, your enrollment is a lifetime free enrollment. Whenever batches are going on, as you know, we do have morning batch as well as evening batch. You can attend those batches. About the videos, there will be a time limit to access the videos that can be extended on request, right? But whenever it comes to the attending live classes, it is there. You have the lifetime free enrollment to attend any of my live classes going on for version 3.0 without any bar on it. Probably this addresses your question. Yeah, more Amulya, as I said, if I want to revise after 6 months, will I get access? Yes, you will get access even after 6 months because it is a lifetime enrollment free for you guys. I have experience in UCS only. Still, can I go for CCIE Data Center? Dear friend Vinay, as long as you are comfortable with regards to basic routing and switching concepts, layer 2 and layer 3 concepts, you are eligible to go for CCIE Data Center. No issue about it. But since you have experience in unified computing system, I will make sure to give you certain extra deep dive when it comes to UCS, and definitely I would love to learn something new from you because this is ever enhancing technology. Well, nice. What is the charges? Our dear coordinator, I will convey this message, Abhinav, to our coordinator who approached you earlier regarding all the commercials, right? He will get back to you. Can you please explain any concept tomorrow? Yeah, that's right, Mohit. Tomorrow again, I'm taking a session the same time, 7 o'clock, and the topic of the session is going to be Nexus Hardware, wherein I'm going to give you a deep dive understanding of Nexus Hardware. My Nexus Hardware class is not going to be to get over in a day. It will be stretched to at least 2 days. So yes, please do join us tomorrow once again for technology session on Nexus Hardware. Can you please explain? Yep. So what is the charges? Yep. And explain, Abhinav. Yeah. Guys, please keep on throwing your questions. I really don't want to say, you know what? Thank you. Unless and until you have any query. Okay, so if you want to speak, guys, you can.
Ashish, one more
Throw your question.
question from my side. So, like,
Why not?
how many demo classes can we attend before we have to we have to submit our fees? As in, like, tomorrow you will be giving one demo class on the Nexus Hardware, right?
Yes. See, the honest expectation is once you are clear and you have a confidence on us, please do submit your fees so that we can come to a proper pace, right? So we officially only 2 demo classes. One is the introduction class, which you have seen over here, wherein you have heard my voice, how it is clear or not, the conceptually and all. So tomorrow there will be a demo class on Nexus Hardware, where you will see my methodology, my teaching style when it comes to technology. So then we will start our classes. So from tomorrow, yes, the same time.
And
you can talk
do you have
the
any previous CCIs as well? I mean, as a company, right? I mean, or as an institute, has anyone in the past, worked under you and cleared the CCI? I mean, or this is the first batch?
Okay. Okay. I have been teaching CCIE Data Center from more than 2 years now, and more than 90 friends of mine, they have cleared the data center. All of them, they are there in my LinkedIn connection. So it is
Okay.
not at all the very first batch of mine.
No,
No,
just a confirmation. Thanks,
it's
thanks, Ashish.
probably
I'll see you
my
tomorrow.
30th. Yeah, sure, Amulya. Please do join me tomorrow.
It was a nice session today.
Okay.
Thanks for the session.
Thank you so much, Amulya, for your compliments. And guys, I'm still here. If you have any question, you can ask me question verbally or over the chat. Mohit asked a question. Now, my dear friend Mani, yes. I can we can have a separate chat with regards to it. You can reach out to me. Do you have any physical devices set up for lab? Mohit, dear friend, absolute answer is no, I do not have. My all requirements, lab requirements are getting sufficed by our dear friend Cisco. So I really do not intend to invest in that. And suppose if I have it, then I will not be able to charge you so less. That is, Stringznet will not be able to charge you so less for such a high quality which you are going to get. Okay, and if you are coming, if you are bringing this question from where I'm thinking, then you can have a direct one-on-one call with me. I'll give you a clear picture. All right. That's right, Mohit. You will get access to Cisco Labs. As I said, 24/7, 365 days across 4 different data centers across the globe. The practice labs are available. Okay, so thank you very much, dear friends. So many friends of ours. Okay, thank you for the session. See you tomorrow. Yep, Mani, thank you so much. And in case if you have any one-on-one question which you want me to be addressed, definitely you can reach out to me. Thanks everyone. Really appreciate your presence over here and hope to catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.